So let's talk a little bit about then this thing I'm referring to you as energy. I have often shared this, that I come from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Anybody know where that is and about Canada? Yeah. And we are known as the oil and energy capital, right, in Canada, right? So I just love going out and telling people at networking events that I'm in the energy business. Oh yeah, I'm with the energy business, you know, and they're like, whoa, wow, you must be really some big oil magnate, you know. And I go, yeah, actually, I also have a business in natural oils. And I say, yeah, I'm also in oils, you know. And man, I tell you, I get doors opening until they find out. And then we're not going to go there because we're going to be positive today. Okay, so what is this energy that I'm talking to you about? For me, it's this very invisible, but yet a powerful force, which actually has given us life. So one manifestation of it is life. We don't see it, but it is very real. We know that because we are here. It's the spark. It's the life force. We also, in other situations, call it the light. Light is energy. Life is energy. And it is closer to us than our own breath, and yet sometimes we fail to acknowledge or recognize it. See, that's the beauty of an energy management approach, is that it's so much a part of who we are that maybe it's the forest for the trees that we don't recognize it. The quality that this energy has is electrical and magnetic. Okay, it's electromagnetic. It's part of our system that fuels us, that actually runs this body. And actually, beyond us, we live in a sea of energy. Okay, we exist and live in a sea of energy. What that means is that we are all connected, even though it may look like you are over here, you are over here, you're over there, and I am here. The illusion is that we are not connected or somehow we're disconnected. But what I want you to entertain, at least consider that we're more connected than we would like to believe or that we're even aware of. And I'm hoping to give you a quick glimpse into that with my fun little experiments or my demonstrations that I'm going to show you today. See, scientists at least can tell us that we use 1/10 of our brains, and you know, you wonder what's going on in the other 9/10, right? I mean, so it's got to be doing something. And I feel that we are communicating and connecting, and there's so much more going on that is impacting us in the consciousness, but of which we are not consciously aware. So part of experiencing and exploring energy is to start to see if we can activate and become more conscious or aware of the things that are sitting underneath or in our subconscious, okay? When we look at working from an energy point of view, I can look at the physical and look at all issues of health and wellness, all the things that stress me at those levels as energy. So I've got to the point in my life where when I look at a food or a liquid that may be good or not good for me, I deal with it in terms of what's the energy. And does that energy match mine? Is it a frequency? Is it toxic to me, or is it life-giving? How much life does it have, or how much energy does it carry? After a while, you start to look at everything as energy. Mentally, you're looking at thinking and thoughts and attitudes. And today, the inside-out approach to stress is to recognize that every thought is an energy impulse, and every thought creates a reality. There's no such thing as a private thought. I have a negative thought right now, and it's going to crash my energy, and it's going to impact your energy. That's how powerful we are. Because being electrical and magnetic, our energies, our being has a transmission and a receiving quality. We're constantly transmitting and receiving. 9/10 of that is under the water. We're not even conscious of it. I don't know what the figure was. I don't know, something like 400 billion inputs a minute or a second or something that we take, and we're only conscious of, well, you can imagine, right? I mean, we're just amazing beings. We can even go into the emotional levels and talk about energy in terms of feelings and behavior. Because energy in that form, every feeling is actually fuel. And fuel is energy. And depending on the feeling, depending on the emotion, it is going to propel behavior. So you start to look at what kind of energy are you running in your system, and is it having a positive or a negative impact on you and all of those around you? We can go into even deeper realms if we want to. And those of you who have had a look at quantum physics, I've brought this up a couple of times, quantum physics is doing some amazing research on how connected we actually are, where paired atoms or molecules are spinning in the same direction while they're thousands of millions of miles apart. Somehow the one at the other end of the universe seems to know that this one is spinning clockwise, and it says, oh, well, it's sort of cool. Can I join in? And they're asking, how does it know that? It's called non-locality. Okay? That something over here is impacting something way thousands of miles away. How is that happening? Is there perhaps a consciousness in everything in the form of energy? And bringing that back here, home, what that tells me is that, yes, I am an individual. So are you, and 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 you. I will not take away the fact that you are an individual. That's what's so wonderful about this world, is that we have so many individuals. However, you may be individual, but we're not separate. You may be individual, but we're not separate. Think about that concept for a moment. See, we live in a sea of energy. We are energy beings, and we're connected. And so, however you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, whatever your actions are impacting me and my energy. We can't stop that. Think about it. Just think about it for a moment that, you know, like I have this glass of water here, and I can tell you that I was just up at the mountain spring and I got this water, and it's 100% pure. It's beautiful, it's life-giving, 100% pure. And I'd like to offer it to one of you. Would you be happy to receive this glass of 100% pure water? Just nod yes. Okay. I'm not giving it to you, it's just an illustration. Okay. All right. So, 100% pure, it's great. Then I take this one substance here, and I open the top, and I put 1 drop of it in this water. 1 drop. Okay? All right, I'll admit to you it's a kind of a toxic substance, but I've only put 1 drop, okay? So now we're 99.9% pure. Okay, maybe 99% pure, okay? But it's still really good water. I worked very hard to get it for you. Who would like to have it? Okay? You're thinking, are you off your rocker? But I'm saying to you, it's a 99% pure. You know, 99% at school would have been a really good grade in my fantasies, right? I mean, 99% means wow. But you're not willing to take this wonderful water that I went all the way up a mountain to get for you because it's only 99% pure. Now think about it in your own worlds, at home, in the office. You know, all of you show up Monday morning and you've made a deal with each other that we're going to be happy and positive, and yes, times are rough, but we're just going to have a great week, and we're not going to, you know, let any of that monkey mind take over, and you're just starting to do your rah-rahs when that one person walks in. You know the one. There's always one. Doesn't matter how sunshiny it is, doesn't matter what's going on in the world, they are going to be that one drop of toxicity. And what does it do to the energy of the whole space? Right? Have you ever wondered? Yeah, I like that. Have you ever wondered? I mean, how can one drop, let's say there's 10 people in an office, 9 have chosen to be positive and keep the energy up, and the one can come and crash it out. Pretty powerful. And how do they do it? They may be coming in and not even say a word to anybody. They might just be having their own private world. Maybe they're just naturally miserable, and they just are in being miserable. But you understand that thought, even though they're saying, I didn't say anything to you, I'm not bothering anyone, so what's your problem? Well, my problem is that we're individual, but we're not separate. Okay? That's my problem. And unless you know how to manage that energy, which is a whole other program, and keep your negativity in your own space, You're spewing it even though you're not aware of it, see? And it doesn't take long for a party, a gathering, a family situation to do this. Let me give you a more concrete example. Actually, it was running on the TV this morning. It was quite cute. I always give this example. Individual but not separate. We're all in the swimming pool. Who watched that this morning? And suddenly the water starts to turn a different color around one person. Right? And in this movie, they had a chemical in there, and the kid says, Dad, you know, with this chemical in there, if water turns blue around you, that means you're peeing in the pool, right? He goes, no, I'm not, right? And there's all this blue, right? And what do people do, even at the other end of the pool? They clear out. Why? He's over there. How does that affect you? Right? Oh, well, Tarun, we're in this thing called water, and whatever happens in there will impact me probably sooner than I want. Okay? How curious. Likewise, this is where we are right now. If I have a thought, just like that person in the pool, it's going to impact you. It's going to impact you positively or negatively. If it's a judgmental, hurtful, reactive thought, basically on the negative spectrum, it's going to bring the energy down in the room. And somebody might be more vulnerable to it. Somebody might be less vulnerable to it. Okay? If you have thoughts right now towards me, that's going to impact the room. It's going to impact me. How I keep myself from being infected is I have to understand these principles and be able to keep my energy intact despite what's happening around me. So the idea is that right now, each and every one of you can be in the driver's seat in your life. I use that visual often, but I like it. You can be in the driver's seat when you're dealing with stress by recognizing that as we're individual but not separate, every thought sends out an energy imprint. It affects us first, and then it affects others. And then if we took accountability for what we were thinking and what we did with that we could literally change how we felt. We can actually change how we impact, or how I like to put it, how our energy impacts others. We are truly powerful beings. And the luxury of a thought is just that, because the minute you have the thought, it's gone, and it's gone to work. So energy is very real, and it generates an electromagnetical frequency that has a real impact.